All right, welcome back, everyone. We're doing something a little different today. You ready for this?
Always up for a deep dive, lay it on me.
Okay, so get this. We're looking at 10 psychological tips like legit life advice, but the source is, well, unexpected.
Oh, color me intrigued. What have we got?
It's this piece called and yeah, I can't pronounce that either.
I was going to say
But it translates to placed text. It's all in Thai, and it's got this like quiet wisdom to it.
Thai wisdom. Huh, that's a first for us. I'm excited to see what it's all about.
Me too. But it's less about the where it came from and more about what it says, right? So let's jump in.
Let's do it. Hit me with tip number one.
Okay, so tip one is you don't need to change yourself to the point of losing your identity.
That's interesting. I feel like so much self-help stuff these days is about like reinventing yourself completely.
Right, like become a whole new WU. But this is saying, hold on, there's value in who you already are.
It's more about refining, isn't it? Like polishing what's already there instead of trying to become someone totally different.
Exactly. And the source uses this analogy. It's like renovating a house.
I like that.
Yeah, you update it, you make it better, but you don't like bulldoze the whole structure and start over.
You keep the character, the foundation, you just make it shine. Okay, I'm liking this place text already. What's next?
Okay, so the next two kind of go together, and I think they're especially important these days. So much pressure to hustle, you know?
Always on, 24/7 grind. Yeah, I get it.
Exactly. So tip two says, don't force yourself until you break down. And then tip three is, before taking action, take care of your fatigue first.
Oh, that's wise. They're basically saying, watch out for burnout, folks.
Right. Like, they knew we'd be all stressed out trying to achieve all the things.
I mean, it's so true. People push themselves to the limit and then wonder why they crash and burn.
And I think what's cool is these tips are saying acknowledging your limits, needing rest, that's not weakness.
It's actually like self-awareness. You're being smart about your energy.
Yeah, and that leads perfectly into tip number four. Asking for help is not a weakness, but shows determination to not give up.
That's a good one. Because there's this idea, especially I think in Western culture, that we should be able to do everything ourselves.
Like the lone wolf going it alone.
But this tip is saying, no, asking for help is a sign of strength. It means you're committed to reaching your goal, even if you need some support.
Right, and I mean, think about it. Even the most successful people, they have teams, they collaborate, they ask for advice.
Nobody achieves anything truly great in isolation. There's always a network, a community, people helping each other out.
Okay, so the next two tips, I gotta be honest, they kind of threw me for a loop at first.
Oh, how so?
They seem contradictory.
Yeah.
So tip five is, tell yourself, I like myself now, but trying a new version of myself could be interesting.
Okay, I can see where you're going with this.
And then tip six is, don't try to please everyone until you stop liking yourself. It's like on one hand, be open to change, experiment, but on the other hand, don't lose yourself in the process.
Right, so how do you embrace growth and evolution without sacrificing self-acceptance?
Yeah, like can you be happy with who you are now, but still want to like level up P?
I think that's the key, isn't it? The foundation is self-love. You have to start from a place of liking yourself, accepting yourself, and then the growth comes from a more genuine place.
Not from a place of like, I need to change because I'm not good enough as I am.
Exactly. And when you approach it that way, I think the whole journey is more joyful, less pressure.
So you're saying liking yourself is like step one,
Yeah.
and then you can build from there.
I think that's a beautiful way to put it, yes.
Okay, I'm writing that down. Step one, like yourself. Okay, moving on. Tips 7 and 8 are all about boundaries.
Ooh, boundaries are so important. What do they say?
Okay, so 7 is, don't pay attention to words from people who aren't important to you.
That's a big one. It's so easy to get caught up in what other people think.
Especially with social media and everything, there's just so much noise.
Right, and you can end up feeling really drained and discouraged if you're constantly trying to please everyone.
And then tip 8 builds on that. It says, we can't change others, but we can choose to keep our distance from them.
So it's about protecting your energy, your mental space. You don't have to subject yourself to negativity or people who drain you.
And sometimes that means creating some distance.
It's not always easy, but it's so empowering to realize you have that choice. You get to decide who gets to have a voice in your life.
Totally. And we've all got those people, right? Whose opinions matter to us and then everyone else.
Exactly, and knowing the difference is key. Okay, what's next?
All right, tip number 9.
All right.
Others don't live for you. If they don't do what you think they should, let it go.
Ooh, that one hits hard.
Right? It's like, We all have this tendency to want people to behave in a certain way.
And when they don't, it can be so frustrating.
But this tip is saying you got to let go of that. People are going to do their own thing, and you can't control that.
It's a recipe for disappointment if you try to force people into a box they don't fit in.
So instead of trying to control others, the focus should be on,
Managing your own reactions. Accepting that you can't control other people's behavior, but you can control how you respond to it.
okay, and last but not least, we have tip number 10. It's okay to apologize when you make mistakes.
Seems simple enough, right?
Yeah, but I think it's easy to underestimate the power of a genuine apology.
Absolutely. In a world where everyone's trying to be perfect, admitting you messed up can feel scary.
But this tip is saying it's actually a sign of strength. It shows you're willing to take responsibility for your actions.
And it opens the door for repair, for growth, for strengthening relationships. A sincere apology can go a long way.
It's not about making excuses or trying to sweep things under the rug. It's about being accountable and showing respect for the other person.
And that kind of vulnerability can be really powerful. Okay, wow, I'm impressed with this place text.
Me too. We covered a lot today, from self-acceptance to boundaries to letting go of control. I feel like there's something in here for everyone.
Definitely. It's all about navigating life with more awareness, more intention. So, listeners, I'm curious, which of these 10 tips really stood out to you? What resonated?
And even more importantly, what's one small step you can take today to actually put that wisdom into action?
Because that's where the real magic happens, right? Taking these ideas and turning them into positive changes in your life.
Absolutely. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive, everyone. We'll catch you next time.